Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? It is I, Lee Bailey. Dan Morgan be joining us here momentarily, and we are here to encourage you this morning. Be encouraged. It's the program. We hope you have a good time watching today, and we hope we touch on some subjects that maybe you needed us to touch on. And if you have a subject that you'd like us to touch on, all you have to do is send us a little message, and we will address it. There's Billy Riley, ladies and gentlemen. What the? He says. I don't know what the means. Happy Wine Wednesday. Wine Wednesday? You don't drink wine, Tora, unless it's 0.0 wine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have some be encouraged here momentarily with your man. Your man, Dan Morgan, and my man. He's awesome. He'll be on with me momentarily. Until then, you just need to stay tuned. Check it. Well, good morning, everybody. Hi, I'm here to bring you through a day, getting you halfway through the hump day. That's what they call it, right? There's a camel walking around the office somewhere. I don't know. But it is hump day. It's a day for you to recognize and realize that there's always sunshine, even if you have a rise above it. Rise above the clouds, there's always sunshine. So rise up, y'all, and take your life to the next level. It's easy to do. Just how do I put it? So I can tell you guys that you just have to put your faith somewhere. And I know the best place to put my faith is in Jesus. But it's up to you to find the best place for you to put your faith. It's kind of like dealing with people with addictions. They have to make the decision. They have to make the decision. People who are successful in business, they have to make the decision to do what they need to do to be successful. All of that having been said, easier said than done. That's why it takes perseverance. It takes hard work. I was just reading something. Hey, Bubba, Almany, how are you doing, buddy? I'm going to have a blessed day just because of that little message from you. I appreciate it. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, so basically today, as Dan will be joining us here momentarily, he's got a few, he's a pastor of a fair-sized parish in Cleveland, Ohio. And so, things come up that he's got to deal with and address on a daily basis. So that's one of the drawbacks to having a full-time pastor on your show, because he's got to address certain things. But it's not a big enough place where he's got a lot of extra help that can deal with everything that comes up. So that's one of those things. But he'll be on with us here momentarily. I wanted to ask you all that are watching to please give us some talking points. I mean, we have them. I don't know what kind of snow they had in Cleveland, but I know the snow has been moving here to the east, but I think it's going to run up high north of us. I don't know that we're going to get anything. We are planned to get something today, some precipitation, but the latest I've heard, it may not happen because it's not going to get cold enough. And I was out this morning. It's not cold enough. It's not warm, but it's like in the 40s right now outside. And that nothing freezes when it's above 40. So that's kind of how that works. We say good morning. We want to say good morning to Clark Crawford, he's our Monday co-host, Tura Arsala, and Bubba Almany again, as I just said. And also Billy Riley chimed in, but he didn't like the program. And he and I have had that discussion before. He hypes in, talks about King Kong Bundy, Ivan the Terrible. I don't know why he's bringing up wrestling, but he's in the wrestling mood. What? That's the only thing I know in this. That's the only two things that I know about wrestling right now, as it goes in America. So one of the things that we've rearranged the studio, so we've got a few different things hanging around and moving around. I got a big new screen here in front of me, which is awesome. I'm loving it. It's been a lot of fun to have that. We were wondering the other day about moving. We're going to move our studio into a new place within the next couple of weeks, is what I've been told. So that'll be fun, and we can redecorate there and get everything, decorated up and nice looking and cool and set. And that'll be a lot of fun for us here at MoreJoy Media as we start to really have been expanding, and that's going to be a lot of fun for us as we move forward. There's Amy Elizabeth Gish. She is awesome. AE, I'm going to call her AE from now on. AEG, isn't there something called AEG, a special big company? I think, Amy, you should go in there and tell them, I'm AEG, I'm the boss. Anyway, Tura reminds us of his motto. His motto is to always follow your dreams and never give up. Just keep on going until you succeed. Awesome. That's awesome. As long as your dreams are on the up and up, because a lot of people have bad dreams. Teasing. That's an awesome motto to stand by and carry yourself forward in. And, that's the way it is. You got to keep rolling, persevering. That's what, because just the other day we remember, memorialize the passing of Kobe Bryant and his daughter and the others that were on that helicopter. And Billy Riley has his own little motto. It says, stay off the pot. No, I'm kidding. Stay on the grind. Keep peace in your mind. He's a poet and didn't know it. Awesome. That sounds like something King Kong Bundy would say. Yes, sir. So, pretty soon we're going to be moving into February. It is the 27th of January today, and just a couple more days and we'll be in February. My birthday's in February, so don't forget to send your gifts. No need. Just Billy. Billy Riley needs to send his gifts to me as soon as he can. As I said, we got some more people chiming in and listening in and watching. You guys, Dan Morgan's going to be with us here momentarily. Should be popping up any minute. And we're going to talk a little bit about motivation and how do you self-motivate yourself? How do you motivate yourself to be successful and to not so much be successful, but be successful as far as what is your goal. And my goal as should be, I can't speak for everybody, but my goal is to do the will of God. And so I just hope that and pray every day that he helps me to achieve that, and reminds me of what he wants, and reminds me and shows me how to accomplish what he wants. So that's my daily goal, and my life's goal is to do what he would have me be a vessel. And I know that if I'm heading towards doing what he wants me to do, I'm going to have a great life. It's going to be a wonderful life. I'm going to have success, at least for what I need to have for success. And that's okay with me. As long as I'm moving forward, I have a beautiful family, and beautiful friends like Tora and Billy and Bubba and Clark Crawford and Dan Morgan, who'll be joining us here momentarily. As I keep saying that over and over again, one time it'll be true. So we appreciate you tuning in. I see some people have bounced off already because they don't want to hear me yammering. Let's take a quick little, as it were, commercial break, and we'll be right back. Okay, so a couple little promos for some of the other shows that we do here on MoreJoy Media. And so, of course, one of the big ones is the Be Encouraged program. And listen, I just heard a pop, and I think that pop is Dan Morgan. Hey,
Pop.
There it is. There it is. How are you, my friend?
I'm doing all right, man. Sorry I was late again. I'll be late for my own funeral.
That's not a bad deal, as long as you're like a few years late for your own funeral. I was just telling them, it's hard to be a pastor of your own parish, and then you just can't find the time because people are constantly sucking your time away from you. And that's not a bad thing. I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, and that sounded very negative. I didn't mean for that to sound negative.
No, it's just what you sign up for. That's all.
That's what I'm saying. So you're used to it. How are you doing this morning, my good friend?
I'm doing great.
How's your week been?
It's been busy.
Yeah.
I think people are starting to feel the combination of the anxiety of being sick of all this stuff, and at the same time realizing they've got some freedoms and they can get out, and they want to get out more. And so
if we would all just wear the masks, and do that, we could do whatever we wanted to do. Yep. We could get out, be shopping, be going to the restaurants, go to the bar, whatever we want to do, as long as everybody masked up, and as long as everybody, kept their distance. And one of the biggest issues I think I've heard is don't sit and talk to the same person or one person for too long at a time. And so these wonderful long drawn out conversations people like to have those on your phone. And just have your greetings and hey, what's going on? And hey, let's root for the Cleveland Browns. Ooh, go Baker, go Baker, and Jarvis, yay. Just do that in a setting that's safe. And that's not hard to do, not hard to do. But it's just simple math. The more people wear masks, the less people die.
Simple.
It's simple assignment. I like what Hogan of Maryland. He's the governor of Maryland. He has a great little PSA that, of course, we get to see in Virginia because the news people, But it's wear your damn mask. That's what that's how he ends it up every day. Just wear your damn mask.
I love it when those guys are subtle as a truck.
Yeah. As subtle as a big fat Mack truck.
Yeah.
So one of the things I wanted to tickle your brain about today, Daniel, is motivation. How do we self-motivate? There's a lot of people right now that I'm seeing. Of course, we've talked about this already. I think a little bit about mental health issues in and about this whole COVID being sequestered and being, what's it called, put in solitary, and people are they're having real trouble. A lot of them having real trouble with how to deal, how to move forward. They miss their friends. They have some people only have a couple of friends, and now they got nothing because, they still have those friends, but everybody, you can't, it's a tangible thing. You need to meet physically sometimes, with, you brought your dog with you to work? That's
right. Quiet. No, sir. Stop.
He knows if I bark, I'll get a treat. He's got his
Miles.
That's the thing with dogs. They own us, man. They know. No, it's okay. I bark, he gives me a treat.
That's right.
That's how it works. Or those could be your treats, or both. Who knows?
No, they're his.
All right, so the biggest thing right now is how do we motivate ourselves to, have more joy in our lives, and how do we help others with more joy? What's your take on the best way to feed our own souls since we've been in this whole mess? Put you on the spot.
No, it's a good spot. It made me think of a song that I was looking up because it's kind of funny and it's almost sarcastic. Probably that's why I like it.
Right.
And the idea about, for me, depression is not that it's unreal, because it's very real for some people. It's
for a lot of people.
It's just a chemical thing. One person very wisely said to me, "Hey Dan, if you had diabetes and you have to take insulin or you're going to die. If you have depression, it's not bad to go see somebody and get some help and get what it needs to take the edge off of that and really get some help." Paul says, Paul the apostle, he says in, I can't remember which book, he says, whatever's good, whatever's right, whatever's noble,
do it.
Whatever is powerful, think on these things.
Yeah.
And, I think a lot of it is, I had a friend who once said, it's mind over matter, Dan. If I don't mind, it doesn't really matter. It's hard to get there when you're depressed.
It is.
When you have that level of anxiety, it's hard to make yourself better. But there are some things that you've got to make sure that you've mastered, and they're very, I think, sometimes just simple things. get up and eat a good breakfast, take a shower, call a friend, make sure you do the basic things that help you stay keel level, and moving forward. We were doing a worship service last night, and afterward we kind of went, meh, kind of like, that was okay, but it just wasn't, it didn't click. And, it's sometimes disappointing. You go, did we do something wrong? Well, everybody around the room says, no, we didn't do anything wrong. What happened? And nobody could really understand what happened other than the fact that we did what we're supposed to do. And sometimes it's good, and sometimes it doesn't click. And you go, okay, And so there's a certain measure, I think, when dealing with, I don't know the exact wording, but when you're sort of dealing with the struggle of keeping things level, you just have to have some good patterns. It's discipline. I hate that word. I'm not a disciplined person. I mean, I get bored too easily. Squirrel, I love change. Hold
on, let's go with bike riding.
All right.
With bike riding. Go ahead.
Oh, I thought you were for real.
No.
I think there's just, for me, I am one of those people that just can't do the same thing over and over and over again. So I think of a song that David Wilcox wrote, and it's a little sarcastic. It says, somewhere in the Midwest, there's a middle-aged man in a mid-sized car driving down the middle of the road in the middle of the night. He's in the middle of his midlife crisis, and he just decides he can't go home. So he turns the car around and he drives to the airport. He flies to New York City, where he makes a connection to London, and he makes a connection for India, where he gets on a train and goes to the mountain to see a wise man, the one who has all the answers for the hole in your heart. Well, anyway, he climbs to the mountain and he sees the wise man come out of the village to greet him. He's no dummy. He knows he was coming. And he musters up all the fear and anguish and says, help me shake this nightmare. The funk has found my heart. I need to move my spirit, but I don't know where to start. I need to fill this empty, but I can't find the missing part. I'm just down inside myself. And the wise man says, I used to think the blues were strong because they're true. And when they come to get you, there's nothing you can do. But now I think that's nonsense, and I've got news for you. You're just down inside yourself. And he goes on to say, there's times when you've been hopeful and times when you've been strong. Now you say that's foolish, like your happiness was wrong. It's like you've never seen the sunshine. When gray skies come along, you're just down inside yourself. And the middle-aged man, he'd heard some, I'm sorry. Yeah, the middle-aged man, he's heard some, but he's had some questions, and he's just about to speak when he was interrupted again by the wise man. Well, never mind the questions now. You don't have to be so wise. Hey, your problem ain't philosophy. So get it down to size. Right now, it's physiological in a logical disguise. You're just down inside yourself. But the blues is not your final judgment. It's no deep or evil power. Hey, the cure is very simple. It works in half an hour. Get some sleep, eat some broccoli, run a mile, take a shower. You're just down inside yourself. And that's, in many ways, when I have to get out of a funk, I sometimes think of this song, but I just realize, hey, what? I got to get my butt out of bed, hop in the shower, have a good breakfast, talk to a friend that's encouraging, and get on with my day.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I mean, sorry, I'm hearing myself and freaking myself out. One of the things that that I, as you started to say that, one of my favorite songs of all time is by Casting Crown, which is Stuck in the Middle, or somewhere in the middle, and that's exactly where we are. I mean, and the nice thing about the Cast and Crown songs is it's always from Mark's whatever Mark is, where he's in his life. His life is up and down, just like ours, and he wonders why things happen to good people, and he wonders how he can be a light in the world, all these things, and he writes from that perspective, and that's why I like their music. But that Somewhere in the Middle is such a when I first heard that song, I mean, I was like, wow, I'm there in a lot of that song, so it's the fearless warrior standing outside the picket fence, that little teeny picket fence. And I just love that. That's where we are in our lives. We can be, I'll put it that way. We can be fearless warriors. And we just have to, here at All Saints, when we were there together, the men's group had a whole thing with Ephesians, with putting on the armor of God and reading, and they made cards, and we, encouraged us to read that. I still have that card. I don't read it every morning. Yeah. Well, I probably should, because it really is, invigorating. But I still have that card, and it's right in my top drawer that I go into every morning, and I see it, and I say a quick prayer. Sure. I don't necessarily read the whole card, but I say, yeah, God, put on the armor. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. And then I just go about my business. And I feel this. I feel the, I went to bed early last night because I was just didn't know what else to do, and decided I was just going to go to sleep, and it was really early, like 8:00. Yeah. So, which is really early for me, but it was good. Got a good night's sleep and woke up on the other side, ready to roar, ready to rock. And that's why we're here today doing our show with my man, Dan. But that was cool, man. I appreciate that. That song was very good. I always like something with a bit of a sarcastic tinge to it. But you know what they say? If your sarcasm gets too advanced, people think you're just stupid.
That'll preach.
Right? You get too, if your sarcasm gets too advanced, people are just going to think you're stupid. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that the other day on a meme. Didn't have Bernie in it, but it was a good meme, and I was like, because I do that. I say things, really? Really? That's my big thing, is really?
Really?
People go, yes, really, Lee? Were you stupid? Like, no, I got what you were saying. I was just going, really? So, but that's kind of how that works. Anyway, my good friend, we are already at the end of the program, but I wanted to ask you to, yes, let's say a prayer for me and for those who, well, not for me necessarily, but sure. But those who are suffering from depression, and there's a difference between, there's chemical depression, and then there's just, I think, what would you say, physical depression? I mean, because almost everybody has bouts of depression. It may not be chemical, like some people who have clinical and chemical depression, but there's people who, when you're sad, I think of that, a sadness as depression, and everybody experiences sadness. And so there's a bit of that for everybody. Can you speak to that?
Yeah. I think the Bible refers to it mostly as grieving. Yeah. And whatever sadness we experience is because we've experienced some measure of loss. And so,
like our freedom.
As a closing thought for some prayers, there's a couple of Psalms that I look to. One is Psalm 31 and the other one's Psalm 56. So I'll pray those two as a prayer. Psalm 31 verse 9 says, "Be merciful to me, Lord, for I'm in distress. My eyes grow weak with sorrow, my soul and body with grief." And then Psalm 56 verse 8 says, My heart is broken, my mind exhausted. I cry out to you and hardly know what I can ask. All I can do is tell you how I feel and ask you to keep track of my sorrows. All my tears in your bottle, each one in your book, as I pour them out to you. So, Lord, we just, as we pray for the folks that are online, and I pray for my brother Lee, would you allow them to feel free enough to just clear their minds of the things that grieve them and pour them out before the Lord and trust you to heal us. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Miles, be a good dog.
It's like, who are you talking to?
Yeah, that's what it was. He wants that attention. He's like, wait, what are you doing?
What is? What you talking about with this?
What are you talking about with us? All right, Daniel, thank you very much for your day.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you. Next week, we'll be on time.
Yes, sir.
If we can help it. I know you'd be on time. All right, well, happy hump day. And, we'll see you next hump day. And thanks for getting us over the hump and into the rest of the week.
All right.
And on our way to the weekend, my good friend. You take care. We'll talk about next Wednesday. We'll talk about who you think's going to win the Super Bowl. How about that?
Go Brady.
Oh, no. Oh, that's right. That's right.
I'm a New England fan, so I'm still a fan.
Man. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
You know what, though?
I like Patrick Mahomes.
I love him. I love him. We can talk about that next week. What a great guy. We will talk about it next week. But, thanks for tuning in with me and getting these people on their way into the rest of their week. Thank you, my friend.
All right.
God bless you. I love you.
You too. Take care.
Mm-hmm.